I definitely want to get into your take on aggression, which I think is quite unique. So I read from a Rice Media interview with you that the Brothers Circle was partly inspired from your own difficult experiences with your dad's aggressive Silat sessions. So could you share with us what you have learned is healthy male aggression and what is unhealthy male aggression?
So back in the days when I was a kid, this is as young as when you're 6 years old. My dad, we always bring me and my older brother, because it's only the two of us who's old enough. We will go down. So after our morning prayers, we will go down to the field and practice Silat, and I wasn't aware. I didn't even know why we had to do that. Why he really wants to teach us that. And then after we had to do certain drills, punching and kicking drills, and then we have to dance with it. He teach us how to dance with it. And then after that, he would want us to spar with each other. So it was very weird because, again, we're still young, we don't know. And then I don't want to hit my brother, but we were just told what to do, then we just go for it. It becomes like a connection, like a connection with my brother. But it becomes unhealthy when he starts to become a bit aggressive. So of course we had to do it with him. We had to spar with him. So for some reason I thought like we were just playing, but then there were a few instances where he would just punch me in the face, and I would fall down, and then I would be thinking, I thought this is just practice. Sometimes it will also cross my mind that I thought you're my dad. Why would you do this to me? That kind of thing. And then he will be in a trance, when he performs Silat, and to a certain degree that he will just go all the way into it, And then one of us would be the witness, and we just don't know what to do, Like we were so clueless, And then we would just have to wait until the fight is over, Yeah. And yeah, it's funny. It's funny that I get to talk about this without having anything. Yeah. So yeah. So I learned something about it. The aggression part. The aggression is an energy that is expressed through a human body or any body, any physical body. After I reconciled with him, I understood where that unhealthy aggression comes from, which is the wounded part, the lack of support. His unhealthy aggression comes in because he didn't receive any support to be his authentic self. So back in the 80s, a lot of Silat sect groups are forced to sort of like close down, or they can't practice it. I'm assuming that he's always judged by his in-laws, which is my mom's side. My granddad doesn't like the way he practiced, blah, blah. And his brothers also, I don't know, like didn't want him to continue it, know. And because of that, he couldn't express his authentic self, and he didn't receive support. And there's always argument at home. That's where the domestic abuse started even, So I feel, that lack of support, or rather that lack of authentic expression, leads him to that one-way ticket, which is aggression, or rather that shortcut, which is anger. Yeah. So whatever sadness, anger, whatever, I don't know, feeling of emotions, lack of emotional support, also anger. So yeah, that's how I perceive it. But the health comes only when I re-embrace Silat lately. Yeah. So thanks to my brother from SG Male Allyship Network, Leon Sutton. So there was one moment where I saw an ad that he was conducting a Silat class.
Yeah.
That was back in 2016 or 2017. And for some reason, I was so drawn to it. And I figured, hey, why not give it a shot? So I met up with him, and he thought Silat um, in a way that I could really resonate with. Yeah, it was very spiritual. It was very meditative because I was already practicing yoga and meditation and breath work. So it was already, or rather, it was already naturally in line with what he's sharing.
Yeah.
So because of him, I found love with it. I found love in Silat because Silat used to be such a traumatic, art form
Yeah.
to begin with, right? And so when we practiced together, I understood what a masculine energy in a human, in a male body feels like. There's this calm, rooted, stable energy that I never felt before, or and I was so confident with it, and because of that, we keep practicing together, and we and I realized that there's also some healthy aggression into it,
Okay.
some which I would call assertiveness. So he would tell me to do a certain movement to make it even stronger, so that you will get the shape or the form neater or much more beautiful. So the assertiveness I find is healthy. So you get to channel that aggression per se
Into assertiveness.
into assertiveness, or rather in a volunteering manner rather than involuntary manner.
Could you like distinguish that for us again? Like I'm hearing you say there is this aggression, and then there is assertiveness, which is like a beautiful, sharpened, healthier version of aggression. So like, could you unpack that in your own words?
I would say, to put it simply, it's just spurts of energy that is being expressed without you unintentionally.
Okay.
Yeah, unintentionally to begin with. Whereas assertiveness is done consciously. Yeah. So it is going back to the mind, body, and heart complex. It is connected, and then
So
being there.
assertiveness is much more connected.
Yes.
Aggression is just more spotty.
Yes, and aggression is always about your own self. It's always about benefiting your own self. Yeah, not about others. About me, me. It's all about me. But whereas assertiveness is, okay, we have to do this so that everyone will be happy. I have to be strong so that I can help others as well. So I need to, so it's not just a one-way thing, it's a two-way thing.
Beautiful. I do find that quite profound that you have reconnected back with Silat, right? That you've healed from that early traumatic experience with it, and now you're mixing it with these new physical methods, and you're actually using it to help men experience healthy connection through fighting.
Yeah, fighting in a play setting.
Yeah. So unpack that. Like, what do you do with these dudes? Like, you're trying to like get them to fight in a playful way.
So as men, this exercise, or rather this activity, is called pulut. Pulut in English is called sticky rice. Is led by my brother Lian Sutton as well. Organized by SG Men.
Yeah.
SG Male Allyship Network. And in this exercise, we get men to sort of like play. So for example, one person will throw a punch, and the other person will just parry, or will just block. We will start off with just these simple exercises. And then after that, after they get comfortable, we will get them to, okay, after a person punch, I want you to grab his arm or his fist, and then bring him into a lock position so that he can't move. And this is done in a very, very super duper slow-mo fashion. So once he can't move, he has to find a way to get out of that lock and then bring the other man into a locking position. So it's like they give each other turns to do it. And the only way for this to work is to do it together, not against each other. And if let's say I can't get out from my lock, I have to talk, I have to connect, I have to reach out and I say, hey, what do I do? Can you give me an idea? So, okay, why don't you step out your right foot and then go, bring your head, okay, then, and then I will creatively give the other man another lock and probably like strangle him. Then he will probably want to challenge me. He will do a forward roll and I will have to roll with him, So there's a playfulness into it. And at the same time, it allows us to connect physically
Yes.
and talk. Yeah. So because I find, at least for me, I like that growing up, and we like this platonic touch.
Yeah.
Because most of us men, physical touch has been sexualized. Every time I want to hold the other brother's hand, oh my god, no, I'm not gay. So we always have this mindset, right? So I want to break that mindset, and I want to bring that healthy approach to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm appreciating, I'm hearing the intentionality, the collaboration that's built in, and yet it's not taking away the need to be assertive in getting a point across, getting the goal that you want, but doing it with the support of other men. I think that's so much braided into that activity. That's really profound because I think it's so important for everybody, not just men, to appreciate that there is a way to, fighting is not negative, but it's are you fighting for the relationship? Are you fighting alongside each other about the issues, the problem? Let's fight against the issue, but not fight with each other.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm seeing that because there are people who refuse to fight, refuse to be assertive, and actually that's super not helpful either.
Yeah. In nature, I'm quite a soft-spoken person, and I hate men. I used to be able to not tolerate men who's aggressive. I can't connect with them. I don't know how to connect with men who's loud in nature or alpha. Or but now I'm okay. I don't mind connecting with them. I don't mind hanging out with them even. So I find this aggression is also new to me because I'm trying to finding it in myself and how I can channel it out healthily for myself. Yeah. So I'm still doing my work. One of it is doing back work, like boxing, doing even singing. Sometimes I would just sing my favorite song loudly at home just to let that vibrations out, just to let the voice out, naturally, because being so many years of becoming, or rather being someone who's soft-spoken for a long period of time is, for me, there's some imbalance in it. So I want to express or find a safe space to express loudly, or raw, in a very primal fashion.